I'm the oldest of three boys, the first son of a bricklayer and a nurse. While growing up, my mom had a full-time job, but was fortunate enough to have the flexibility to work a day shift during the months we were in school and at night over the summer. She did her best to juggle a chaotic schedule. Mom did a lot. If families had executive ranks, I would have labeled her as chief operating officer of our household in rural Pennsylvania. She fixed breakfast, wrote the checks, and reeled us in by our ears as my brothers and I tried to suplex and body slam each other in the aisles of the grocery store. She'd hang the laundry on the line, weed the garden, and help us with our homework. She hustled us back and forth from Cub Scouts and the Pinewood Derby, 7 a.m. swim practice, and track meets. She took us for pictures with the Easter Bunny and Santa, and once helped tape ham lunch meat to my brother's face as he dressed up like Freddy Krueger for Halloween. She fixed homemade dinners and got us ready for bed before pulling an 11 to 7 shift at the hospital. She even managed to somehow work the snack stand at our Little League games. And on one occasion, after I'd run into the center field wall chasing a pop fly, breaking my front tooth in half, and knocking myself unconscious, I awoke in the grass along with the coach, and my team crouched around me, kind of like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. But instead of Annie M. and Uncle Henry, there was Mom, down on a knee, holding a Ziploc bag full of milk with my tooth already in it, ready to take me to the dentist. She was amazing. Moms are amazing. And somehow, they managed to be everywhere. While all of that sounds fulfilling, rewarding, and perhaps even a tad heroic, with the good also comes the bad and the ugly. She tolerated my brothers and I enlisting her good linens to make forts that extended throughout the house, using her antique lamps as anchor points. And we pushed her to the edge, at our height, consuming 10 gallons of milk a week. She jumped in between us as we lunged at each other with our fists, rabies foam forming at the corners of our mouths. She even once flew out of a Hess's fitting room in nothing but a bra to rip us from our hiding spots underneath the clearance racks. She cut chewing gum and candy canes from our hair and boiled our mouth guards in athletic cups. She powdered our rancid athletic shoes, hand-scrubbed skid marks from our underwear, and when we became completely, undeniably unmanageable, locked us outside in those same tighty whities and told us not to come back. But that's what a mom does. Big deal. That's not tough, right? I never really happened to give it a second thought. As a guy, my plan was a no-brainer. I'd go to college, get a great job, find a pretty girl with anxious ovaries, have some kids, and let her do the new mommy thing. Maybe I'd even find some time to play some golf and drink some beer. A few years after school, I got that great job. I did what any former farmhand from the cornfields and cow stalls of Bucks County would do. Obviously, I got a job in Hollywood. I went from baling hay and eating pierogies and using Pennsylvania Dutch slang to sake bombs at Matsuhisa, breast implants, and riding the mechanical bull on Sunset. I had some great successes under my belt. I had a corner office, sweet parking spot, and the corporate card. I was riding the wave. I found that girl with the not anxious but wooable ovaries. Not only was she pretty, but also successful. I bought a new car, picked out a diamond, we got married, she got pregnant, we had a girl. It was kind of like Jack and Diane on performance-enhancing drugs. This plan was working out far better than I'd ever imagined. After our daughter Ava was born, we both took time off to embrace motherhood and fatherhood. It was frighteningly close to how I pictured it, a little bit Archie, a little bit Edith, but we were all in as a family. For the 2 weeks I was off after the birth, for the most part, I kind of hit the sidelines. I needed a break from my stressful job. I noticed my wife doing all that new mommy stuff, just like the script said, feeding every 3 hours, changing diapers every 2, washing bottles, cleaning rattles, swaddling, and swaying to soothe. I noticed what she was doing, but I wasn't paying attention. Before I knew it, my vacation was over. 2 weeks were up, and I went back to work. And that day, I found out that my position was eliminated. My contract was paid out, and I was sent home to find my next endeavor. But the economy was a gnarled, ugly mess, and that endeavor wasn't there. We were lucky, though, because my wife still had her job, and she had our back. And by back, I mean that was the last part of her we saw as she walked out the front door that following Monday, leaving me alone to fend for myself with a 10-week-old baby girl. And that's when I picked up the phone, called my mom, and said, "What the F am I doing?" Her tour of duty was over, though. She wished me well and had to run. Because her chamomile was getting cold and solitaire was waiting. Who was going to keep this alive, and why didn't I pay more attention in class? And that was 3 years ago. That's how long I've been an unexpected, full-time, stay-at-home dad. I have 2 kids now. Ava is 3, and Charlie will be 2 soon, and I've never had more respect for moms as I do now. Once a high-fiving, drywall headbutting, football Sunday bar hopper, bottoming out long necks and ripping stop signs from the ground, I've now got a sensitive side. I keep a close shave so I don't scratch the kids up, giving Eskimo kisses or Zerberts. I've learned the art of wiping front to back, not the other way around. And it's a secret, but I've sampled breast milk to check its temperature. I've spent mornings soaking Medela pump tubes in vinegar and hand scrubbing lactation spots from my wife's nursing bras. I can accessorize my daughter with the best of them. Flowered hats and tutus, dance parties, and boo-boos. I clip the coupons and work the stain stick. Potty training, timeouts, and kiss and ride. I'm master of the Disney Fast Play option while paying a bill over the phone and attempting a recipe from Barefoot Contessa. I can be in 2 rooms at once and use my spidey sense to catch them before they fall from the chair they dragged across the room to bust into the China buffet. I cuddle during thunderstorms and can really knock a manicure and clear coat out of the park. As my kids get older, I think my daughter sometimes gets confused with our role reversal when she sees how other families work. A few months ago, Ava went through a phase where she was confusing mommy for daddy and vice versa. She came into the bathroom while I was showering and kept calling me mommy while machine gunning me unanswerable questions. That night, when my wife came home from work, Ava was running through the house, shouting, "Daddy's home, Daddy's home." As we were reading stories and getting ready for bed, Ava looked at my wife and said, "Daddy, why does mommy have a weenus?" I'm the mommy with a weenus that she's talking about. Despite what my kids may call me, or everything I take on as a stay-at-home dad, I could never be a mommy. Their intuition and empathy, their love and strength, their patience and nurturing love, they're hard to mimic. Moms are truly one of a kind.